Alright, so today, what I've got for you is, well, here you go. It's a thing. The man, the man himself, Rush Limbaugh, dead at 70, from, what, cancer? Some sort of cancer, right? Where's his, personal life? Problems of death. Complications of lung cancer. So, Rush Limbaugh, the man himself, is dead of lung cancer on, actually not this day, on yesterday, the 17th, in like a hospital bed. And this video is about Rush Limbaugh. I'm going to go over some of the shitty stuff that he said and believed in, but I kind of hope to speak to a broader theme within the online right, and liberals for that matter. It's going to be rambly like all my other videos, but we'll see how it goes. The last one, people really seemed to like that, so I don't know, maybe this one will turn out the same way. But regardless, so Rush Limbaugh, okay? Biggest radio personality, like, in the world in the, 90s? American radio personality? Here. In December 2019, Talkers Magazine estimated that Limbaugh's show attracted a cumulative weekly audience of 15.5 million listeners to become the most listened to radio show in the United States. This is in 2019. This was 2 years ago. He had a television show in the 90s, and presumably since then he's here. He has been in radio since the 70s, it looks like, and he's kind of just been at it ever since. And it's a really bad thing that he was this big. I mean, let's look at his views on minorities. Oh boy. Controversial racial-related statements with regards to African Americans. The NFL all too often looks like a game between the Bloods and the Crips without any weapons. Nice. What else? Anti-LGBT views. Viewed homosexual sexual practices as unhygienic. Made serophobic statements about the HIV/AIDS victims in the 1980s. Gonna be honest, I actually don't know what this word means. Oh, it means discrimination against HIV victims. Nice. Called the virus Rock Hudson's disease. Who's Rock Hudson? Well, you know what? We're learning together. It's a good time. This is a learning together video. Rock Hudson, American actor. Okay. Well, he was gay in the 80s. Wow, that's really impressive. Good for him. What a king. In 2013, Limbaugh commented on same-sex marriage by saying, "This issue is lost. I don't care what the Supreme Court does. This is inevitable. It's inevitable because we lost the language on this. As far as I'm concerned, once we started talking about gay marriage, traditional marriage, opposite-sex marriage, same-sex marriage, hetero marriage, we lost. It was over." In February, Limbaugh predicted Pete Buttigieg would not be able to win the presidential election because of his homosexuality. He said of the genocide of Native Americans, Holocaust 90 million Indians, only 4 million left? They all have casinos. What's to complain about? Oh boy. Sexual consent. He viewed consent as the magic key to the left. He criticized the policy at Ohio State University, encouraging students to obtain verbal consent, saying, "How many of you guys have learned that no means yes if you know how to spot it?" Drug policy. Too many whites are getting away with drug use and illegal drug trafficking. Racial disparity in drug enforcement could be fixed if authorities increased detection efforts, conviction rates, and jail time for whites involved in illegal drugs. Defended mandatory minimum sentencing. Yikes. Advocates of legalization of medical cannabis. Of hypocrisy due to their advocacy of tobacco control and backlash against electronic cigarettes. Environmental issues. Was he a dumb fuck on climate, too? Limbaugh argued against the scientific consensus on climate change, saying it was, quote, just a bunch of scientists organized around a political proposition, and argued that the projections of climate change were the product of ideologically motivated computer simulations without the proper support of empirical data, a claim which has been widely debunked. Excuse me. Feminism. Critical of feminism, which he viewed as advancing only liberals and not women in general, was established so that unattractive, ugly broads could have easy access to the mainstream of society. Yeah, interesting. This was when? Newspaper. It says in the newspaper column. Also regularly used the term feminazi, described by the New York Times in 1994 as one of his, quote, favorite epithets for supporters of women's rights. Middle East, supportive of the Iraq War. Love to see it. Even after no Iraqi weapons of mass destruction were found, he supported theories that they had existed. Trade. Supported NAFTA. Okay. Barack Obama. Spread false claims that Obama was a non-citizen. Nice. He was a big birther guy. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am not as knowledgeable about Rush Limbaugh as I should be. I was always aware of him, and I was always aware that he was a piece of shit, but I never really looked into him maybe as much as I should. Donald Trump, obviously, he was consistently supportive of Trump, although he endorsed Ted Cruz during the Republican primary in 2016. Let's see. Okay, dismissive of controversies over Russiagate, which people meme about Russiagate, but Russiagate actually did yield a lot of very interesting things about how Russia very much did interfere in the 2016 election. Claimed that the FBI investigations of Michael Flynn and Paul Manafort were orchestrated by Barack Obama and the Democratic Party to undermine the legitimacy of Trump's presidency, constituting an illegal coup d'etat. Yikes. Alleging false flag attacks. Yeah, so Rush Limbaugh was a major piece of shit. Rush Limbaugh played a very major role in moving millions of people farther to the right. And it's I don't have anything really to say except bye. I mean, like, but what I want to talk about with this video isn't so much let's all gang up on Rush Limbaugh and how much of a piece of shit he was, because that's certainly something that people are doing, and I don't not support that. What I want to talk about specifically is the there's sort of like a virtue signally concern troll thing that always happens whenever whenever someone on the right dies or gets ill, gets COVID or something. It happened when Trump got COVID. It's happening now with Rush Limbaugh. It's this kind of like stupid bullshit thing of you should reach across the political aisle and understand that he was a human too, and you shouldn't make fun of him for dying, and people are grieving him, and it's really horrible, and it's so stupid. People did it when Trump got COVID. Both righties and liberals did it when Trump got COVID, and it was really annoying because, like, at the time, I think it was like 300,000 people were dead from COVID when Trump got it. Like, it was profoundly funny when Trump got COVID. When it came out that he and Melania had COVID, it was hilarious. And I remember just cackling hysterically for most of the following day because it was like really late at night. It was at like 2 or 3 a.m. when it got tweeted out. But it was such a moment of uh I don't want to say poetic justice, but I kind of do want to say poetic justice because Trump had spent the entirety of 2020 just talking about the how COVID is not a big deal, how you shouldn't wear your mask, you shouldn't comply with guidelines, how like he wouldn't put in effect a mask mandate. He wouldn't treat COVID like the serious threat that it was. And then he got COVID, and it was hilarious. And he put out these like these like hilarious like cope videos on Twitter where he had like coughs obviously edited out of the videos. They were hilarious. They were amazing. God, what a good like 2 weeks. Uh, oh, that was so much fun. But you know, you had people on the right like, I can't believe that the left is making fun of the president's suffering. And it's like, dude, fuck off. You would do the same shit if fucking Joe Biden got COVID, right? Like, you would do the same shit if Bernie got COVID. I'm pretty sure weren't people like really fucking excited when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died? I don't really know how to Google that. I was going to Google it, but I distinctly remember a lot of people getting very, very excited when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Now, there were some people who on the right were like, now this is a very, very somber moment, and we have to all come together and mourn the loss of this Supreme Court justice, while secretly they were all twiddling their thumbs and very much excited about the prospect of Amy Coney Barrett making it onto the Supreme Court. But no, the do I think that people like Trump getting COVID and Rush Limbaugh, do I think it's something to be unilaterally just celebrated without any consideration for the uh, for the suffering that say Limbaugh underwent in his cancer treatment? Unilaterally, no. Do I think that his advocacy warranted him a lesser amount of moral consideration? That I'm more inclined to say yes. I'm more inclined to say that I think that Limbaugh's death is a I don't know why I'm trying to word this carefully, but Limbaugh's death means the end of his advocacy, which I mean, that in and of itself is a positive, right? The end of 15.5 million listeners a week, a cumulative weekly audience of 15.5 million listeners being told that fucking Obama isn't from the country and that Trump is the most amazing president that's ever lived. That's the absence of that can only make the world a better place. And I don't think there should be a fear to say that. I don't think there should be a hesitancy to acknowledge that. And I think it's really stupid that that there are people online who are just like, actually, it's bad when terrible people like Rush Limbaugh, who I secretly actually think is a good person, but I'm not going to tell you that. It's actually bad when they die, even if they said some things that I don't agree with. Like get out of here. You know what he did. You know what he said. You know how big a piece of shit he is. And it all comes across incredibly virtue signally because if you know the day Biden dies in office, if that happens, or you know the day that Bernie Sanders drops dead or whatever, I don't know. You know that when that happens, Righties are going to be online, and they're going to be uh, giggling with glee in their little 4chan echo chambers. Um, and they're going to be tweeting all about it and getting banned for it. And it's going to be very, very funny to watch them get banned for that. But it it's another example of right-wing hypocrisy. And another thing that frustrates me about it is that a lot of liberals, well, they don't do it intentionally. I think a lot of liberals, well-intentioned liberals, fall for it. I think it's a thing that people who maybe aren't all that politically engaged will go online and they'll see a bunch of lefties being like the crab rave meme of Rush Limbaugh's gone, and then they'll see people in the comments like, you shouldn't make fun of this. This is he died a horrible death too early, and it's like, well, in that situation, someone who's not invested in politics is going to look at this and be like, oh yeah, maybe I didn't like Rush Limbaugh that much, but I don't know if being happy that the man is dead is something really to be uh, excited about. Uh, so my message to liberals, I guess, is this is, don't let people make you feel guilty for being glad that a piece of shit like Rush Limbaugh is no longer in this world doing the kinds of horrible things he was doing. Uh, don't let people make you feel guilty for that, because one, it comes from a place of insincerity, uh, and two, it's just really dumb. Like there's no, uh, I don't know. It's really dumb, and I wish that people on the right would stop doing it, but I know they're not going to. Um, and yeah, that's really all I've got for you. So if you enjoyed listening to me ramble about what a piece of shit this fucking guy is, uh, then leave a like if you want. Leave a comment. I always need video ideas, and if Rush here hadn't kicked it, then I really probably wouldn't have much of an idea for a video today. Uh, yeah, like, comment. If you aren't subscribed already, do that thing and ring that little bell so I can stop having to post all my videos in Discord servers and on r/breadtube uh, to get people to see them. And yeah, have a good one.